Are you moving to the Chicago suburbs and you're wondering what Chicago suburb should I live in? This video is for you. I'm Amy Pearson. I'm a local realtor. I serve western suburbs of Chicago as well as downtown Chicago. I make weekly videos like this one on community information, real estate, and driving tours. If you already know is looking to buy or sell in the Chicagoland area, feel free to reach out to me. I've been helping people just like you find their dream home in the Chicagoland area. I've been helping people moving from DC, moving from California, Texas, Michigan, and they found their home right here in the Chicagoland area. So I actually lived in Chicago for 20 years, grew up in Naperville, ended up moving back to Naperville. I said, oh, I'm never gonna live in Naperville again. And here I am living back in Naperville. But I thought this might be helpful. I actually tell some of my clients some of these tips to help select the suburb for you to live in, because it can be kind of overwhelming. There are so many suburbs outside of Chicago. We've got your northern, western, and southern suburbs. It's a huge area, all of the suburbs. So the first thing that I tell people to do is to explore different areas. So pick a few towns or neighborhoods if you're interested in Chicago and explore them on the weekend. So we would go check out different towns. We would walk the little downtown if there was a downtown area. We would check out a local park with our daughter. We even did brunch in a few of these different areas and just get a vibe and feel for the town or neighborhood. And then we would discuss, could we see ourselves living here? Do you think it's a good fit for our family? So it's a great thing to do, and definitely maybe try to check out different times of day for towns that you're interested in. So that's my tip number one that we did to help find where we were gonna move to. The next thing that was important to us, and it's important to some families as well, moving from out of state, would be a commuter-friendly location. So I know even we've had some time pass since COVID, people are starting to go back to the office, and we knew that was going to happen. So we always wanted to have a commuter-friendly location to get to downtown Chicago. So having a town that was on the Metro train line to get to downtown Chicago was very important, especially a place that had express trains to downtown Chicago was important to us. There were a few neighborhoods we looked at in Chicago that were on the Metro train line as well. There were options, but that was very important to us, was commuter friendly. So that narrowed it down a little bit more. So these are things to think about when selecting your town or area that you're considering for your next place to live. Another thing that was important to us was taxes. We looked at taxes property taxes, sorry if I'm talking too fast. We looked at the property taxes in some areas and it seemed higher for the price point and square footage in Chicago compared to, say, Naperville. It was lower than Chicago houses. So that was another thing that kind of pushed us to the suburbs, was that factor that we looked at. Another factor that we looked at in selecting our suburb would be the top rated schools. And I'm going to give you a resource down here, would be niche.com. You can look up the resources of what are the top rated schools. Many of the suburban schools are nationally ranked school districts, which is really great, public schools. I will say in Chicago, you really have to do your research. I'll give you some more links to look it up. It can vary by street, neighborhood, and it really gets redistricted a lot in Chicago. So you definitely need to make sure that you look up the school rankings if you're considering Chicago for a place to live. It can vary very drastically, the school ratings in Chicago. Oh, back to the Metro train line commuting. Go to metro.com. I'll leave that link as well below. You can check how long your commute would be from a certain area. That could be important to you. So I'll put the metro.com link to research your commute to downtown Chicago. So yeah, those were important things in exploring where we were going to live with our family. We also wanted a town that had stuff to do. We were used to living in Chicago. We would walk to street festivals, we would walk to restaurants, we were used to doing that. So we're looking for a town that had a lot of amenities and a lot of festivals and downtown. And we explored Naperville quite a bit, and it has a very large downtown with lots of restaurants and festivals throughout the year. So hopefully that was a great way to help you maybe narrow down where you want to. It can be so overwhelming how many suburbs there are outside Chicago. So if you are looking to buy or sell in the area, feel free to reach out to me. My info is below. I'd love to help you find your next dream home. And I've got another great video coming up, so stick around. I think you'll like it.